Ego. A person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. The part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. What is your identity? A lot of us are trying to find that. I find myself constantly in a battle of trying to figure out who and what I am. You see, a lot of times we find our identity from our family, through our mother and our father. I am my mother's daughter. I am my father's son, father's daughter. Sometimes when you come from a life where your parents were non-existent, it's really hard to figure out what that is. The universe will send you lessons that you can learn from on what you can and cannot do, on how to find your identity, and on how not to lose it. You know, a lot of times people struggle with this because they will join gangs, or they'll join a biker club, or they'll join the military because they are longing for a sense of belonging and a sense of identity. And a lot of times they get into these types of clubs and organized institutions thinking they're going to find who they are. And then, sad but true, they want to get out because they realize none of that resonates with their soul. Sometimes we'll be working in certain jobs, doing certain things, and something will happen. It does not resonate with your soul, and a lot of times we'll want to just leave because this is not who I am. None of this is who I am or where I'm going. And at that very moment, that's when you lose grasp of everything that you've worked for. You'll lose grasp because you're going to let it go. You forget what your journey is. You forget where you're going because one thing was there to rattle you and shake you up. So you let it go. That is the time when you have to take a bigger look at the perspective of what is really going on and ask yourself, why are these people here? What is going on that they need to show me that I'm not going to be able to learn on my own unless I'm given these examples? The example is through self. They're there to show you what it's like to be so full of ego and to want a title so bad that it controls your soul to the point that you become a person that nobody likes, wants to be around, or respects. It also shows you what it's like to not have no identity and to just look around and wish someone could just tell you what you're supposed to be and do. How do you find the balance? That's very hard considering I'm a parent and I didn't grow up with parents. And being a parent, you want so badly for your children to just never to have to walk in your footsteps, that sometimes you overindulge, or maybe you don't indulge enough. You never know what is too much or too less. All you want is for your children to never have to go through what you did. But you know what? Maybe that's what they came here. They came here to find their identity, or they came here to find their soul, self-love, or to love. There's so many different identities that you can resonate with. Who even said that you could only have one? Why is that even a thing? There's no law that says you can only be one thing. You can only come to this world because you're going to learn one thing, live one job, live in one house, have one family, and do one thing your whole life, and that's it, and then you're dead. Maybe you were meant to come here because you had to do many things. You had to meet many people, connect with so many other souls, because it's going to take you to who you were meant to be one day. Sometimes you have to go through the pain in order to have the happiness. You can't have one without the other. You're never going to just be happy all the time. Unfortunately, how this polarity works in this world is you have to have both. So, how do you get through it? The hard times. You remember why you came here. You remember your journey, and you tell your ego when it's out of control that you are here for a reason and there is a journey you're on. So sometimes you have to tell your ego to sit back and relax, because you're the one in control of your journey, not your ego. Some of us have had to fight to get to where we are. We've had to build our own self-esteem. We've had to be our biggest cheerleaders. We've had to tell ourselves that tomorrow is going to be better in order to even get that ego to where now we have to tell our ego, chill out, ego. You're being a little ridiculous. You don't need all the limelight. It's okay. Sit back and relax. There's something greater out there for you. Whatever it is you're going through, remember your journey and why you came here. Remember that it's going to take steps. They make steps for everything in life. I mean, look at when you're a baby. What do you take? You take baby steps to be able to run. It's going to take time to lose weight. It's going to take time to find love. It's going to take time to get through the bills. Baby steps. As long as you plant the seed for tomorrow, you take one step in front of the other, because eventually you're going to get there. That finish line is going to come. And then after you get to that finish line, what's next? It's your next step. It's always going to be a step after another, after another. No matter how high you get, there's always going to be more steps. Those stairs that lead to where you're going, they never end. They just keep going. With every ending, there's always going to be a beginning. Don't look at losing something as a loss. Look at it as a fresh start, to start over. Stop telling yourself, now I have to start all over. Tell yourself, yes, I get to start all over. You get a blank page to be anything and everything you want, to create the identity that resonates with your soul. Every day, we get a blank page. You're never too far in anything to turn around and stop. Look at how far you've come, and then turn back around and walk forward. Sometimes you're going to have to let go of things that just do not resonate with your soul, and that's okay. Sometimes we're going to want something so bad and it's just not for us, and that's okay. And that, that's the universe telling you to make space for what the universe and God have intended for you. What you think is good for you is not always good for you. I wish you knew this when you were young. Because if you did, you would have cut back on a few steps. You wouldn't be as far forward as you are now. But they don't give you a manual when you're young. You kind of have to make one up as you go. All of these parenting books, see what to expect when you're expecting. There needs to be a handbook that tells you expectations kill the soul. They give you false hope. They lead you to disappointment because you expected so many things. But that's not how life goes. You have to let it come. Ebb and flow like the water. And when the times get hard, remember how far you've come. So if you're struggling to find an identity, remember that everyone is. Everyone is going through some type of identity crisis. Maybe they were given one as a family. You know, when they had their family, they were given one as a child. And then they wake up in one day and they say, I do not connect to anyone that I was raised with. This is not who I am. I need to shed this. I need to recreate myself. We are creators. We are the essence of God. We can create ourselves every day different into who we feel we are. So don't stay stuck on one identity. Don't stay stuck on one perspective. Don't stay stuck. Because when you stay stuck, that's when you lose hope. That's when you let go and you check out. Stop checking out and start checking in. You need to check in for yourself every single day. Show up for yourself every single day. No one else is going to show up for you. You know, when you're in school and they say, Christopher, are you here? Yes, I'm here. No one's going to sub for you. No one's going to sit in your seat. No one's going to say, I'm here for you, except for you. So remember that every day. On the days that are the hardest, when you want to check out, when you want to throw in the towel, when you say, I don't need this. Remember, only you are going to check in for you. So keep showing up for yourself. And learn the lessons that come in between.